Welcome, welcome. It's your life own it. Motivational moments with Marissa and today, Nate. And so we are so excited to be here with you this morning. We want to wish you a happy women's. We are celebrating with not women's history, but on Own It, we are celebrating women all through the month. We're so excited for our women who do so much. You pour out so much of your life, your time, your energy into your family, into your business, into your careers. And we just want to salute and celebrate you. So, Nate, Nathaniel, I am going to put you on the spot. Who is the woman who has inspired you?
Oh wow, the woman who has, that's interesting, and I guess it depends on what area we're talking about because I've worked for a number of women. Well, I had women managers and women clients that taught me a whole lot. So there's a number of them. Um, I don't know if I could just narrow it down to one because
I knew that was coming.
they each gave me meaningful things that helped me develop as to who I am today and as a leader.
Yeah, yeah, I knew that you were going to say that. And so, what would be one of the biggest ways that these women influence you? What was one of the biggest ways that they've influenced you?
I think that for me, the biggest way has been sensitivity to women issues and concerns.
Hmm.
Um, to watch to watch what they had to go through from the sideline
Right.
and to hear them share with me what their feelings were as these things were happening to them. It just increased my sensitivity and it made me an advocate for women.
Oh, nice, nice, nice. And that's what we need. We need men speaking up for us because we could do a lot of things, but some doors are opened by men. And
Oh,
so,
absolutely. Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. I always with women who reported into me, I noticed that men would defer to me or try
Hmm.
to talk
Hmm.
with me
Hmm.
when they should be talking to the women that were working for me. And
Right,
I would call them out on it and just say, look, when you talk to her, it's just like talking to me. And if
right,
you can't say and treat her with dignity and respect, then you can't talk to me.
right.
But you sometimes you need a man to advocate that in the workplace on behalf of the woman.
Yeah, and that's so important, and we thank you for that. And so I want you to share with the audience a little bit because we're going to go. We're focused on women, and so
Yeah.
we're going to go into women. But I want for you to share with the audience for those who because you are a partner with Own It, and you've been around. But for some of the audiences, and sometimes we don't always have the same people in the audience. Share with the audience a little bit about your background, and then let's go into women and how you work with them in that capacity.
Okay. So a little bit about background: born and raised in Baltimore City in the ghettos in the '60s, with lots of racial tension at the time, and I guess we still have that, huh?
Hmm.
And went to college, wasn't supposed to go to college, was statistically supposed to be dead or in jail by the age of 25. So I was able to overcome that. Different I met different people who gave me insight into a different world other than the inner city. That gave me something to strive and to work for, and to motivate me to do better than hang out on the corner and drink and play basketball.
Right.
Um, and from there, the doors opened, so I got to go to college, graduate college, and met people from around the world. Got to meet business people, politicians, entertainers, and so it's a variety of different people from all walks of life, which wasn't supposed to happen to a kid like me. And as a result of that, went into higher education, teaching, and then administration. leaving higher education as an entrepreneur and going into becoming a corporate executive in a Fortune 400 company, and writing a book and just enjoying life. Doing things to help people. Community service type work, and that's kind of me in a nutshell in terms of stuff that I've done.
But
Uh,
you're letting people know about your background and where you came from and defying statistics, right? Defying the status quo. Um, but I want the people to know the work that you've done and how you're working with everyday people to help them to regain control of their finances, regain control of their future, and also to, like you said, defy statistics, because um, we are like-minded in the sense of defying statistics. Me being a young mom and still being able to go in and get a corporate job, being able to work for myself for 10 years, being able to work for a prestigious university for 11 years, defying odds. And you're going back and you're reaching back to others and you're helping them along the way. And so I just want folks, the listeners, to really understand the structure by which you go back to help others, and to really let them know that they can reach the same status and even beyond.
yeah, well, for me, it's about giving. About giving back. It's not just the words. A lot of people do lip service. For me, it's about the action, doing the work, and actually following through. So, as I talked about the different stages in my life, there were different women uh,
Mm.
who had an impact. So when I left college and went to Oberlin as an administrator and teacher, there was a woman, Marie Henderson, there who kind of like grandmother figure took me under her wing,
Uh,
and she made it very a comfortable transition because I was leaving Baltimore going into the Midwest into Ohio, which was a
wow.
whole different culture and way of living. And as a result of that, I saw how easy she made it for me and comfortable she made it for me. So that was one of the lessons that I learned, is that wherever I am, to make it easy and comfortable for people when they
Yeah.
come into those settings. When I moved into corporate America, um, I had a couple female managers. Well, they weren't my managers. I had male managers, but my clients were. I had female clients, and
Hmm.
just the class and dignity that they had and how they handled things. One in particular, Dale Prince. She lived it. So
Mm.
therefore, I lived it because
Hmm.
she was my client, right?
Hmm.
And that she treated everyone with dignity and respect. So therefore, I did the exact same thing. Um, so it's again, it's just living it and not just talking about it.
Yeah.
And for me, just reaching back and seeing the disparities that's there. We can separate it into women this or men that, but at the end of the day, is we all go through challenges. And when we're talking about finances, I think most people go through challenges with their finances. The gap just happens to be bigger for women and people of color.
Yeah.
So someone took the time to teach me and help me how to get my finances together. So one of the gaps that I'm trying to fill is working with women to say, hey, you guys are at it, and it's a historical disadvantage, right? Because and I correlate them with I I'm black and I come from a slavery background ancestry
Hmm.
where slaves were property. Well, women were too.
Yes.
Even when slavery ended, women were still property, and
Yep.
men married women, and they were the property of the male, and
Yep.
they were not to be able to talk about financial stuff. So there's a big, huge gap that's there. So um, I, I guess in my maleness, my male privilege, I've learned a lot about finances. So I'm just reaching back to my sisters that are out there and saying, "Hey,
Yeah.
any way that I can help you, let's do this." And it's really about getting the priority. How do you close that gap, right?
Right.
Everybody works, or a lot of people work, and the message is that to get across to women is make retirement a top priority.
Yes.
Retirement has to be a top priority. And it doesn't matter if you're an entrepreneur, just make sure you're putting money aside for retirement and investing it. If you're working a corporate job, make sure you're taking advantage of the 401k or whatever the pension plan is that's available to you. But it's just getting getting women to focus in on retirement needs to be a top priority. It's not if you make it to retirement, it's when you make it to retirement, you know. And you just have to be prepared. Um, and a lot of women tend to save money, but they don't invest money because women are nesters by nature.
Hmm.
So you save money, you save but saving won't take you to where you need to go. So we have to focus in on how do we get women to not only save, but do what's necessary to invest. So there are things that I can say and do from an informational standpoint that can help women, but sometimes the message has to come from another woman to a woman. So I
Hmm.
partner with other women that are in finances, and we have those messages and we make sure that the appropriate messenger delivers the
The
message
message.
to,
Right.
to,
Right.
to the woman that we're dealing with. Um, And then I guess the third big thing is just getting a financial advisor, getting women to understand that they need an advisor, they need somebody that's an expert. And if you're more, there are a lot of women out there that are really good at that. And I work with a couple of women that do that. And I tend to tie women to to women financial advisors because they can relate more to each other,
Right.
and can help them, and they're committed to closing that gap as well. Um, and I guess the biggest thing is putting a financial plan in place. Because if you don't put one in place, you've already planned to fail.
Yeah.
Um,
You
so
have nothing.
that's where my focus goes.
Yeah, you when you don't have a structured plan, you don't know what to do day to day. So you don't know what to do. You don't know where to focus your activities and your tasks or your decisions. You don't know where to focus. That's why a plan is so important. And what you did say was key was to show women not only to save but how to grow that savings. How do you take that money and grow it? And then you also shared about it coming from the messenger. So the biggest thing and where we're with our agenda and helping people to advance and move forward is you have to be open minded, right? You have to be open. Sometimes the message is not going to come from a woman. Sometimes you're not going to have the opportunity to have a woman come and tell. So we have to be open to whoever the messenger is, whether it's male or female, if we really want to grow, if we really want to take things to the next level. So that's one charge I would say is that if you have challenges receiving information from a specific source, you got to get rid of it because if the information that you need is going to be life changing for you, you got to be open. You got to be open minded. You got to be open to thinking in a new way. A lot has to do with the restriction of being successful with money is how we look at money, how we value money, how we interpret the purpose and the use of money. And so that's something that has to be changed. Our mindset has to be changed. And specifically speaking to women, is like we are the ones who have a great deal of responsibility on our plate. A lot of times, I know when I was married, I handled our budget, I handled paying out all the bills. When we have that responsibility, we need to know some of the options that we have, especially when it comes to investing. Especially if we're going to be the ones who are setting the budget for the house, we're going to be the ones handling the expenses, going to the store, purchasing for our family, and even single women. knowing what to do with the excess money or the money that you have left over, to be able to invest it. You have some programs, and you have a nonprofit organization that you want to help folks to level up, to come up with their finances, be educated. Not only just do we want to share information, so we're not just here to share information. We also want you to get in touch with us. If you are one of those individuals who really want to change your life, change your circumstances, you want to reach out to us. You want to talk to us. Say, hey, we've been listening. I've been listening to you guys, and I really need help. And reach out to us, and we'll figure out who on our team can actually help you. Who among our people and our network can really help you. Nathaniel, talk to them about some of the programs that you have, and some of the other things that you have going on with your nonprofit organization.
Well, I think for what is appropriate for this conversation is that we have a women's group that meets we meet once a week. And I don't want to screw the days up. I want to say that, oh, it's Thursdays at 7 to 8 p.m. And it's just women talking to women about any and everything. It's not non-judgmental environment. I can't tell you what it's like because I'm not a woman, and I don't get to participate in it, but I'm a proud sponsor of it. Um, and we have the financial boot camp, which is a 3-month program that people have to qualify to become a part of. And that's where we teach people how to get out of debt. We teach people how to live within their means and how to invest for their futures. And we teach the traditional, well, we do two things. We teach the traditional mathematics of finances and how to budget, how to invest, but we teach the untalked, we teach the stuff that's not talked about. Um, when you hire a financial planner or you're working with someone in that certified arena, they can only by law tell you certain things. Um, Someone like myself who came from nothing into where I am today, I can have conversations with you about how I did that, that the financial planners can't have with you.
Mm,
And that's the secret sauce that we're doing in this boot camp, because anybody can teach you the financial stuff. Either you're going to follow it or you're not.
right.
And if you follow the financial outline that's out there, you're going to get out of debt. You're going to live within your means, and you're going to invest. But it's the things that's talked about that's not taught, you know.
Right.
And
Right.
people always say, oh, the rich get richer, the poor get poor. Yes, why? Because of education.
Mhm.
If someone's teaching you what to do and what not to do because they're educated in it, you're going to advance and do better. So if we had two families and you gave $100,000 to one family and $100,000 to the other family, and one has it's just your typical family, that $100,000 is going to be gone in no time.
Yeah.
In that second family, if there's the educational component to it, that $100,000 can turn into a million, turn into 5 million, turn into 10 million, because of the conversations and the information that's shared and not discussed,
Right.
in general. So
Yeah, yeah. And that's the key. The key is to know when you have the money, what to do with that money, to really understand how the growth process works. And you said something that was key. You got to be in the, like how Hamilton put it, you got to be in the room where it happens, the room
yeah,
where it happens. So the reason why so many are struggling is because they don't know the secret sauce, they don't know the secret ingredients. And so that's why it's so important for shows like this, and having individuals like yourself come along and say, hey, listen, I can tell you what others can't tell you. I can show you what it takes. And again, it still goes back to having an open mind, being willing to do the behavioral changes, because it's not only getting the information, it's actually accepting the information and doing the behavioral changes, because it's going to require discipline. It's going to require that you start looking and examining how you're spending, where you're putting your money, and you're going to have to let go of those things. You're going to have to recondition your mindset, and you're going to have to sacrifice. You're going to have to cut some things off. You're going to have to do that evaluation and say, where am I spending my money unwisely? And then you're going to have to break off that behavior and that habit. You're going to have to change that behavior and that habit to a discipline and a habit that actually supports and influences and has an impact on where you really want to go. Um, and the beautiful thing is, once you get to the other side of that, you may be able to have some of the things that you really want, because you'll have the income, you'll have the investments there that can support the lifestyle you desire later on. But it is going to take some reconditioning. I want to do a
Women.
shout out
Oh, go
to
ahead.
shout out to one of our viewers, Ann Ross. She is in the Philippines, and I know we've been a minute chatting, but we want to put you up there. Thank you so much, Ann, for shouting out to us and viewing us this morning. She's over in the Philippines. She is one of my fellow Toastmasters. We love you, miss you so much. I miss you too. She is one of our fellow Toastmasters, and she watches it and she supports me all the time. And so, just and so you know that these meetings are virtual too. So if you want to join the women's group, you can also join the women's group as well. You don't have to just, you can just get in touch with Nathaniel. Share, Nathaniel, how people can get in touch with you.
People can reach me at lifecoachnathaniel@gmail.com.
Oh, awesome, awesome. And now, listen, Nathaniel is going to be speaking here in the Dominican Republic in April. I want to share a little promo for that. He's going to be here in the Dominican Republic, and he's going to be talking about all these things he's been sharing with you, his programs that are available to you. He's going to share them. And guess what? You get to talk to him directly. That's the beautiful thing. He will be here. If you come be with us in the Dominican Republic, you'll be able to talk to him directly. So we're going to just show you a little bit, give you a little taste of what to expect if you decide. This is the Own It Anthology conference and retreat here in the Dominican Republic, April 26th through 30th.
Man, is
Yeah,
that wake up there in paradise every day?
it is. It is. The Own It Anthology and Journal has been named the number one Amazon bestseller. We are going to show that real quick. Number one. We have made it. And Nathaniel wrote the foreword for our journal, and we are so thankful for you doing that, and being a part of this experience, and also for the give back, the pay it forward thing that you do. You care so much about our people. You care about us, getting our financial house in order, because having your money in order, that's one thing, that's one of the biggest things that will help us to have a peace of mind and reduce all of that anxiety and all the challenges that you may or may experience. And so Anne responds, she'll be with us soon. And so she watches us all the time, and I'm looking forward to her taking advantage of some of the opportunities that we have here. But it's so important to give back. It's so important to do the work that you're doing, because how will we ever know? Like, how will women ever know how to? And it's the women. We are always looking at making sure that all the needs of the family are met. And that's a big concern for us. And you share. So, in closing, if you can give women any kind of a tip or advice, what would it be? What would you give to women, Cheryl?
As far as finances, I would say find a, a mentor that has already been and done whatever it is that you want to do, because they can show you, and it doesn't matter if it's a male or female, but find someone who's already accomplished it, because they can help you take the necessary steps to get to where you want it, from where you are to where you want to get to. And you can either learn it the hard way and learn it over a longer period of time, or you can learn it the short way from somebody else's mistakes and errors and successes, and get there a lot quicker.
Hmm. Hmm. That is very good. That's very good advice. To get connected is all about who's in your boardroom. Who is, you are the CEO of your life. Who's in your boardroom? Who are you allowing to advise you, influence your thought process and your behaviors? And so this has been It's Your Life, Own It. That motivational moments with Marissa and Nate. And we're so excited because this platform focuses on self development. The more you become self aware, the more you can self develop, and the more that you can self master. And that doesn't mean being perfect. That means to know yourself well enough, know what makes you tick, ticks you off, what triggers you, and how you can navigate through this thing called life. We love you so very much. We're at the top of the week. Remember, it's all up to you as to how this week goes. Mindset, your heart, and it influences your behavior. We're out. Have a blessed rest of the week. Enjoy yourself. And until next week, we'll see you then.